जय गोपीजनवल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोधनन्दना जय व्रजजनरञ्जना जय यशोधनन्दना जय व्रजजनरञ्जना जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुञ्ज बिहारी जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुञ्ज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय कृष्ण बालराम जय कृष्ण बालराम जय कृष्ण बालराम जय कृष्ण बालराम जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल। हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। निताय गौब्रह्मनंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति सपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते ताप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दं माधवं चैतन्य जगदीश्वरं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्री Hare Krishna. So we welcome you all to the study of Srimad Bhagavatam, which we are doing on every Saturday. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the Amala Purana, is the spotless Purana. So this has arisen, just after Krishna ended his pastime in this material world, in this Martya Loka. Krishna Swadamo Pagate Dharma Gnana Dibisaha. So when Krishna went, there was a darkness all over, because in scriptures compare Sri Krishna to the sunlight, and Maya is compared to the darkness. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a verse: Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andakar. Krishna is like a Surya, and Maya is like Andakar, is a darkness. And Yahan Krishna Tahan Maya Adhikar. So wherever there is Krishna, there the Maya cannot enter. Wherever there is a sun, there cannot be any darkness. Similarly, where there is Krishna, there is no role for Maya Devi to play. So this is nice. We all assembled here on this auspicious day, in this month of Kartik. So we assembled here to read and understand Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are in the first canto, chapter 10, entitled Departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka. So we have seen in the previous chapters, so the in the previous chapter we have seen the passing away of Lord Bhishmadev after Mahabharat war. Bhishmadev, he had a boon, means he can die whenever he wish, is called Ichamarani. So he can die at his wish. So he waited for Uttarayana to come, and that is a secondary aspect. He was waiting for Uttarayana, but he also waited for the arrival of Lord Krishna so that he can see the Lord, then he can go back to Godhead, because that is the perfection of life, right? So antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram, in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says in the 8th chapter 5th verse. So antakale cha mameva, at the end of one's life, whoever remembers me, he surely is going to attain the same form. And in the next verse he says yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. So in whatever the state of consciousness one he is in, the same he is going to attain. So Bhishmadev wanted to see the Lord. Bhishmadev, again, he is one of the Mahajanas. There are 12 Mahajanas, out of which Bhishmadev is also one. So Mahajana means they are the authorities on the Vedic scriptures. So they knows the Vedas and they know the scriptures better than anyone else. So and also we know the what is the conclusion of Vedas. Conclusion of Vedas is Vedaishta Sarvair Ahameva Vedyo. So means of all the Vedas, I am to be known. Krishna clearly declares in Bhagavad Gita. So and in fact he says, I am the compiler of the Vedanta and I am the knower of the Vedas. So since Mahajanas, they understood Vedas, their scriptures very nicely, which means they have understood the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, also very well. So he waited for Lord Krishna to visit him, and Lord goes there along with all Pandavas, and Bhishmadev was very happy seeing all the Pandavas dressed in jubilant cloth, Now they are the emperors and rulers of this earthly planet, because the entire their life Bhishmadev saw them suffering one after another calamities. They kept on seeing the problems in their whole life, right since their birth. So when they were born, the Pandu was died, their father. Then later on, there was a lot of torture from Dhritarashtra and his son Duryodhana. So finally, at least, now they become the rulers, and so they were very happy. And Bhishmadev was very happy to see them, as they become the emperor. So after this, uh, Krishna, he wants to depart to Dwaraka. Now Krishna is there from quite some time. So then he stays for some more days, and now he in this chapter it is described the departure of Lord Krishna for Dwaraka. So in the last class, can anyone quickly summarize what you have discussed in the last class?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We discussed the first seven slokas, Prabhuji. So basically, after killing the enemies and reestablishing the
10 verse.
Yudhishthira
10 we
king.
did. From first chapter, first to 10. Yeah.
Yeah. Any do you remember anything from that section?
Yeah, the way he actually bowed in after the thing to take permission, he went to the Maharaj. Then he actually paid his obeisances by bowing down and taking his blessings. Then that showed his humbleness and respect for the ruler. And then he seeked permission, and I think we understood how the other people felt when he told that he will be leaving. All of them were very, very sad.
Very nice. Very nice.
Prabhu,
Yeah.
see, some was described position of the kingdom under Yudhishthir. That there were sufficient rainfalls, there were sufficient grains, there were sufficient milk from the cows, and all these things. And initially, this was the query of the Shaunak Rishi, how Yudhishthir started ruling the kingdom after listening Bhishma Dev as well as per the guidance of the Krishna. So this was in reply to that. He's saying everything. And lastly, when he said when Krishna wanted to leave, everybody started fainting. That was the last verse which we discussed. That is, all Pandavas virtually started fainting on knowing that the Lords had decided to go.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sushil Prabhu.
We left it for today. Today's discussion.
Yeah.
There is
we have seen when Yudhishthira Maharaj was ruling this, he became the emperor. So his kingdom was very happy kingdom, and happy citizen, prosperous kingdom, right? So the rains were giving sufficient rain, and the crops, right amount of rain. It's not too much, it's not excessive, it's no shortfall. Just sufficient what is required. So, and the grains, mother earth produce grains in abundance. Then cows started giving milk, and they were giving so much excess milk, even they were flooding mother earth with their order. They were they're giving their milk, so much excess milk they were giving. So when it's stated in the Shastras, when the ruler is a pious person, so everything will be very all right. Everything will go very systematically, and there will be no famine, and the people will become very righteous, and everybody will be, there's a prosperous kingdom, and also the citizens will be become happy. Whereas if the king become culprit, then you will see a lot of misfortune in the kingdom. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam also, in the fourth canto, when we go, we will come across one king by name Vena. So he was such a cruel king. So during his reign, everything was disturbed. Okay, then finally the Brahmanas cursed him to become die. Normally Brahmanas would never do that. They always praise for the entire universe. They say no, Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. This is a slogan for Brahmanas. They always pray for the welfare of the whole universe. But in case of Vena, they were all curse him, and by their curse only Vena died. So that will come when we go there. So it's very important we should have a right king. So if the king is very righteous, then everything will be happy. Otherwise, everything becomes, it's not so nice. There'll be a lot of commotion in the kingdom, which we are seeing in present world, right? Because the leaders are not properly educated in the science of spiritual. So we are seeing so many chaos, so many problems, arising on day-to-day basis. So anyway, that's Kali Yuga. So, but when it was not during the reign of Yudhishthir Maharaj. So the verse says, Kamam Vavarsha Parjanya Sarva Kama Dugamahi. So that is the, everybody, all the prajas, including the animal, cows, the people, everybody was very happy in the reign of Yudhishthir Maharaj. So then finally, Krishna take permission from them and he sets to go back to Hastinapura, to Dwaraka from Hastinapura. So now we'll see the verse number 11.
Prabhu, there is a query in 10, verse number 10.
Yeah.
While we were discussing, there was a sentence in the query, in the purport, that once Krishna and Radhaji met at Kurukshetra during a solar eclipse, and the feeling which was expressed by them is heart-rending. So we, because it was too late on that day, so we left the discussion. We will discuss next time. What exactly is this?
Okay. So there, the Krishna is so attractive. Even actually, to be honest with you, we devotees, we never come across direct contact with Krishna, right? But we hear him through the name, form, and pastimes and his qualities, right? So we go to the temple and we will have his darshan, and we do the chanting the holy name, and we get his association. Then finally we hear about his qualities. Then we remember his his gunas, right?
Yes.
Okay, all this becomes so attractive. Then what to speak of the people who are directly in associating with Krishna? These are the people who sat with Krishna, who ate with Krishna, who played with Krishna, and every day, on all their life is centered around Krishna. You can imagine how much separation they must be undergoing, right? So like you have your close relative, maybe your parents, your brother, your sister. You are so attached to them. They come to your home and they will be staying. When they want to go back, you will feel so much separation, right? Similarly here that analogy is, yeah, these like at the time Subhadra, Draupadi, Kunti, Uttara, Gandhari, Dhritarashtra, Yuyutsu, Krupacharya, Nakula, Sahadeva, Bhima, Dyumna, Satyavati, they're almost like fainted. They are nearly fainted because it was impossible for them to bear the separation from Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna is around all their centers. So coming back to this sentence, they met at Kurukshetra. See, so Krishna, what happens? He did Balya Leela. So in Vrindavan, and after that he goes to Mathura. So Akrura comes there and he wants to take him. And because Krishna has to perform other leela, right? So Krishna's basically all the activity pastimes of Krishna is divided into three portions. One is Balya Leela, which happened in Vrindavan, which is described from in Srimad Bhagavatam from chapter 1 to chapter 30, 38, 38, 39. So then next set of pastimes is it is Mathura Leela, which is described from chapter 39 to 50. Hmm? So then the next section, which is Dwarka Leela, which is goes up to the end of the chapter. So here in Krishna is associated with Vrajavasis while he was doing Vrindavan pastime. So then he Akrura comes and he takes Krishna to Mathura. So there he performed so many pastimes as well, like he kill Kuvalaya Pida elephant, he fights with the Mustikan Chanura, and he delivers Kubja, and so many other and fisherman and sorry washerman. All this Krishna does the leela there. Then, but before going there, so when Krishna was uh, about to leave Vrindavan, so all the Vrajavasis they also felt the same separation from Krishna, and they can never think of leaving Krishna even for a moment. Such was the condition of Vrajavasis. That's the reason they are considered as the greatest devotees of Krishna. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself says, no, Ramyat Kachit Vapasita Vraja Vadu Virya Kalpida. So of the devotees, this Vrajavasis, they are on the highest platform, and their love for Krishna is something which is they don't expect anything from Krishna, but what all they want is they want to simply serve Krishna, to keep Krishna happy. That is their goal. Suppose I am doing devotional service, I have some material aspirations. Please give me good job, please give me some properties, or give me some good standard of living. So this is I'm doing it in order to get something. But Vraja gopis are not like that. You know the story, right? Once Krishna had a headache.
No, not exactly.
So Shilprabhu, can be a little louder, Prabhu?
Not, we have not heard, matlab, at least I have not heard it.
Yeah, we have discussed in this forum also.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah,
Sumati Mataji, you can tell?
we remember Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. When
Yeah,
Krishna
just
was having headache, he asked that who loves him most and who will give the dust of their feet for Krishna. So they went to everyone, that to all the people, and give this. They Rukmini ji and all give the dust for the for Krishna.
Yes,
But
yes,
he
I
said, how
remember.
can we give the dust for Krishna? Then they go to gopis. The gopis said, yes, for Krishna we can even go to hell if we have to go give our dust, and if he gets well. So we are ready to go to hell also for him. So that is the ecstasy of love for Krishna from gopis.
Yeah, thank you
I
very much,
remember.
Mataji.
Prabhu.
Yes, yeah. So can you imagine, Prabhu, if somebody comes and gives you, Prabhu, give me dust from your lotus feet. We are also scared, no? No, 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 Prabhu, no. So if I give, I'll go to hell, I'll not do that, right? So when gopis they said, we don't care whether we go to hell or heaven. For us, it's only the Krishna should get rid of his headache, right? So that is their goal. So that is the mood of gopis. So when Krishna left, he promises, I will come back soon. Hmm? But we know that Krishna never returns to Vrindavan. Hmm? Okay, but of course, in elsewhere it also states that Krishna never left Vrindavan. Vrindavanam parityajya padam ekam na gacchati, says the Shastra. Srimad Bhagavatam also it says, Krishna never moved a step away from Vrindavan. He was there only. Okay, so here the point of discussion is, so afterwards everything happened, there was and Krishna is performed Mathura Lila, then he went to Dwaraka, there he married all the queens, and once there was a solar eclipse, it is stated, on solar eclipse day, if someone goes to Kurukshetra and take a dip in the river, so it is considered as very, very auspicious. So Krishna decides he will go there. So he goes with all his queens. Then that time, when the Vrajvasis also come to know about this news, they will also come to meet Krishna to the in the Kurukshetra. So there is you can see the feeling, like you are meeting your most beloved personality after so many years. So Srila Prabhupada is, is mentioning in this particular verse, what is the, the separation the gopis were feeling. See here, that separation he is comparing with this other devotees is mentioned in this verse.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, so we'll go to the today's verse. So, Subal Prabhu, who will share?
Rao Prabhu, can you share?
Sure, Prabhu.
Okay, today we'll start with 11 and 12. Okay. Satsangan mukta dussango hatum notsahate buddha कीर्त्यमानां यशो यस्य सकृद् आक्रण्यरोचनं तस्मिन्याष्टादिया पार्थाः सहरन् विहरन् कथं दर्शनास्पर्श संलाभां शयसाना भोजनै.
Translation: the intelligent who have understood the Supreme Lord in association with pure devotees and have become freed from bad materialistic association can never avoid hearing the glories of the Lord, even though they have heard them only once. How then could the Pandavas tolerate his separation? For they had been intimately associated with his person, seeing him face to face, touching him, conversing with him, and sleeping, sitting, and dining with him. Purport: the living being's constitutional position is one of serving a superior. He is obliged to serve by force the dictates of illusory material energy in different phases of sense gratification. And in serving the senses, he is never tired. Even though he may be tired, the illusionary energy perpetually forces him to do so without being satisfied. There is no end to such sense gratificatory business, and the conditioned soul becomes entangled in such servitude without hope of release. The release is only affected by association with pure devotees. By such association, one is gradually promoted to his transcendental consciousness. Thus, he can know that his eternal position is to render service unto the Lord and not to the perverted senses in the capacity of lust, anger, desire to lord it over, etc. Material society, friendship, and love are all different phases of lust. Home, country, family, society, wealth, and all sorts of corollaries are all causes of bondage in the material world, where the threshold miseries of life are concomitant factors. By associating with pure devotees and by hearing them submissively, attachment for material enjoyment becomes slackened, and attraction for hearing about the transcendental activities of the Lord becomes prominent. Once they are once they will go on progressively without stoppage, like fire in gunpowder. It is said that Hari, the personality of the Godhead, is so transcendently attractive that even those who are self-satisfied by self-realization and are factually liberated from all material bondage also becomes devotees of the Lord. Under the circumstances, it is easily understood what must have been the position of the Pandavas, who were constant companions of the Lord. They could not even think of separation from Shri Krishna, since the attraction was more intense for them because of the continuous personal contact. His remembrance by his form, quality, name, fame, pastimes, etc., is also attractive for the pure devotee. So much so that he forgets all forms, quality, name, fame, and activities of the mundane world, and due to his mature association with pure devotees, he is not out of contact with the Lord for a moment.
Yeah. So here, like such a wonderful purport Srila Prabhupada is giving. The living being constitutional position is one of serving a superior. Hmm. So our constitutional position, our Swarupa is Jivera Swarupa Hoi Krishnera Nityadas. Hmm. So we are the eternal servant of Krishna. Hmm. So, but we forgot that point. Hmm. So we came here, then we are getting entangled with kind of upadhis means bodily designation. So I am an engineer, okay, I work for this company, I get so much salary, I possess so much wealth, have all this false designation. So how can you say these are all false designation, right? So because this designation will fade away once we have that particular position, okay. I may be a general manager in particular company. So I am general manager of that company as long as I work there. The moment management decides to terminate me, or if something happens, then I have no position, right? These are all temporary positions. Whereas our real position is to serve the Lord eternally. So the other examples the Acharya gives, a fish out of water, it can never be happy. So you take out the fish out of water and you keep him in a nice Burj Al Arab, a five-star restaurant, and give him all the facility, but it cannot be happy because its swarupa is to be in the water. Similarly, we, the part and parcel of the Lord, I mean, so we are the eternal fragmental part and parcel of the Lord. So our constitutional position is to go back home, back to Godhead, and serve Him eternally. But what is stopping us going there, and what made us to come back here? Because of that enviness. For a moment we thought, why should I serve my master? I want to be the master. I have to be the enjoyer. So then, that desire was so intense. Then Krishna got to create this material world, which even the Lord is not happy in creating this world. For example, the governments, they don't want to build jails, right? But in every country, and however advanced that country may be, they construct prison house. Why? Because even though government doesn't like the people to become prisoners, but because they disobey the laws of the state government, they are forced to put into this material prison house. Similarly, we all come here for this material world. The only way back we can go back home is by satsanga. And we have come here, and not only that, we are trying to serve our senses. So we are doing so much, we are keep on serving our different parts of the senses. So we are pleasing our eyes, we are pleasing our senses, we are pleasing our tongue. So instead of putting so much effort, still these senses are never get satisfied. Like analogy is, if there is a fire, you are putting fire ghee on the fire, so which will never get saturated, right? The more ghee you put, it want more, the fire will become very big, right? Similarly, however much we try to satisfy our senses, we cannot satisfy. And the example is, we all the we I mean example for this, we work so hard to serve our family members, we make our family members happy. So a person put 12 hours, 14 hours work, we constantly work so much hard for some little happiness. So the person comes from the work with so much tiredness, but still as soon as he come home, the wife will say, oh, come, let's go to that mall, we have to buy this. And now poor fellow, he goes there. So this narration come in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. uh, Kapila Dev very clearly explains. When we go there, we will have more information on that. So he put, instead of, he's literally tired, he doesn't have any strength, but to satisfy his family members, he goes there. So like that, this is happening not only in this one janma, there are many janma we are doing it. So I don't say that we shouldn't do that, but there's a limitation. And if we keep saying Krishna in the center, then our uh, uh, this entanglement will become reduced. Okay, so we also do the same activities like devotees also do, right? They also go for shopping, they do all those things, but there the center point is Krishna. Okay, they go to the mall to bring the food stuff for the Krishna, or to bring some nice stationery for this thing. So it's very essential. And how the devotees will get the knowledge? By associating with the pure devotees. When we associate with devotees, we become that. Right? For example, now this World Cup fever is going on, right? When you go to your respective companies, there will be big debate happens, on this, like India beat Pakistan, then Pakistan lost to Zimbabwe. There are so many things, they are so much entangled in discussing so many topics. Okay, so like that, because they they have taste for that, and they converse with other people who are of the same interest, they will also come and join. So like that, it happens. Similarly, when we associate with devotees, the devotees, no one else but Krishna. So whatever they speak, they always glorify Krishna, in the form of his name, and his qualities, his pastimes, and his form. They always talk about Krishna. So by associating with this, what happened? We will also, get attached to Krishna and his devotees. Even Lord Shankaracharya also he says, Satsangatve Nisangatvam. When we associate with the devotees in Satsanga, all our bad association goes. Satsanga is very important. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra kahe, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi hoy. Just by associating with pure devotees, even for slight moment, one will get purified. There is one pastime, so you must have knowing this, but just I'll tell in briefly. Once there was a devotee. His name is Amrish Maharaj, you know him. He had a brother. He was he was totally opposite to Amrish Maharaj. He has taken all wrong path. He is not into devotional service, and he would always spend his life by sinful activities. But whenever Narad Muni comes to meet Amrish Maharaj, uh, Amrish Maharaj would request him, somehow please liberate my brother. Make him purify, because I know you are a sadhu. I know the powerful of I know the association of sadhus is so great. Please give him some association. So one time Narad Muni goes and he tried to preach him, Then he don't care, he doesn't care. He says, Narad Muni, please, okay, I'm happy with what I'm doing. Please, you need not to preach to me. Please go out from here. Then Narad Muni comes back. Then next time when he visits Amrish Maharaj, his request again was the same. Then Narad Muni, somehow, he cannot honor his wonderful devotee Amrish Maharaj. He goes there. That time, this his brother, Amrish Maharaj's brother, he becomes so much annoyed with Narad Muni, and he will give some abusive word, and he drives away Narad Muni. When the third time comes, again Amrish Maharaj requests him. Then Narad Muni wants to give a try again. Then he goes there, but this time his brother becomes so much angry. He tried to throw some pot on the Narad Muni, but Narad Muni, somehow he escaped from there, and he says, "Listen, I am going. I'll never come and meet you." But so you are all your life you are engaged in sinful activities. Certainly, you will go back to you will go to the Yamaloka. So where you will get punishment. But there they will ask you one question. Please tell me what is the value of association. Then by saying that word, he goes away, Narad Muni. Then in the due course of time, his life comes to an end, that Amrish Maharaj's brother. Then finally, because of all his bad activities, sinful activities, he is taken to the kingdom of abode of Yama. There they were questioning him, and he had so much sinful activities. Then they asked him, "Do you have any questions?" Then immediately he asked question. So what is the value of a slight moment of association with pure devotees? Then by hearing this, Yamadutas get bewildered. So they didn't know the answer to this question. Then they take him to the their Yamaraj. Yamaraj also get perplexed, by listening this question. Then he takes him uh, to Shivaji. Kailash. He takes them to Kailash. Then Kailash also they go and ask the same question. Yamaraj asks, this man has got a question. What is the answer? Even Shivaji also gets bewildered. He doesn't know what to answer. Then he also all they will go to the Brahmaloka. They inquire with Brahmaji. Brahmaji also, I know he doesn't know what to say. What is the value of the slight, moment association? Then finally they take him to Vishnu Loka. So then Vishnu Loka, when they goes, they ask, so what happens one goes to Vishnu Loka? What does in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says? Yadgatva mam nivartante.
Tadhama paramam mama. No one
Yeah.
comes back.
He doesn't come
So
back.
you'll not come back, right? Yeah. So when you go to the Vishnu Loka, Vaikuntha Loka, you will never return. Same thing happened to him. So that is the value of association of pure devotees. So this is emphasized by all acharyas, including Shankaracharya. And also not only that, even the Krishna's uh, uh, name, Krishna's form is so attractive. Even the Atma Ramas, Atma Rama is the one who has completely satisfied with whatever he has got. He's completely satisfied. He doesn't need anything. Okay, but still they also get attached to Krishna. The classic example is our Shukadeva Goswami. Shukadeva Goswami, he is born Atma Rama. He is self-satisfied. He is self-realized person. But as soon as he born, he ran away from the home because he knew if he is at home, his father will get him married and he will put him into the familial bondage. So he ran away from there. So, but after some time, he this Vasudev's disciples, they were reciting Srimad Bhagavatam while trying to collect the wood, for the sacrifice and as well as cooking. That time Shukadeva Goswami is so attracted and he comes and asks, "What you're chanting?" Then they say, "We are chanting from Srimad Bhagavatam." So who is teaching you? Then they say, "Our Guruji Vasudev." Then he comes back and he gets attracted to Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Krishna. That is the potency of satsanga. And also similarly, if we associate with bad people, we will imbibe their qualities. So it is very, very important. We should associate with the pure devotees. So in Srimad Bhagavatam also it's explained further. If we associate with the pure devotees, the doors for the liberation gets widened up. At the same time, if we associate with bad people, the doors for the hell will get open. So then we will move on to the verse number 13. Sarve te animishayr akai akshay tamanu chetasa vikshanta sneha sambandha vichelas tatraha.
I'll read, Prabhuji.
Yes, bro.
Translation: all their hearts were melting from him on the pot of attraction. They looked at him without blinking their eyes, and they moved hither and thither in perplexity. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Krishna is Krishna is naturally attractive for all living beings because he is the chief eternal amongst all eternals. He alone is the maintainer of the many eternals. This is stated in the Katha Upanishad, and thus one can obtain permanent peace and prosperity by revival of one's eternal relation with him. Now forgotten under the spell of Maya, the illusionary energy of the Lord. Once this relation is slightly revived, the conditioned soul at once becomes freed from the illusion of material energy and becomes mad after the association of the Lord. This association is made possible not only by personal contact with the Lord, but also by association with his name, fame, form, and quality. Srimad Bhagavatam trains the conditional soul to this stage of perfection by submissive hearing from the pure devotee.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Krishna.
So in Katha Upanishad, it is stated that Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman. Nityo means Krishna is eternal, and Nityo Nityanam, we are living entities, we are also eternal. Being a part and parcel of the Lord, we are also eternal. And Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam means Krishna is conscious, we are also conscious, right? So, what distinguishes from the dead body to the living entity? It is only the spirit soul, right? The spirit soul is the symptom of living entity, right? Consciousness is the symptom of living entity. Otherwise, even the dead body is also same. Is the same person, right? Laying down, but the consciousness is missing, right? So Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. Lord is having consciousness, all the living entities also having consciousness. And Eko, but here is the difference. Okay, first two is same. Nityo Nityanam, Krishna is eternal, living entities also eternal, and Krishna is conscious, living entities also consciousness. And third point is the difference, Eko, Krishna is the one, and we all Bahu means in millions, and he the one person who fulfill all the desires of the so many people, so many living entities. Okay, so that is the difference between the Lord and us. So this he quotes here, and also the association is very, very important. So even how can we associate? We can associate by we cannot associate directly with the Lord, but we can associate with his name. We can chant his holy name, and we by his fame, we can read about his activities, then his form. We can go to temple, or we'll keep the deities at home, we can worship in, and his qualities. And also by reading scriptures, we will get association of the Lord. The Srimad Bhagavatam, especially when you start reading Srimad Bhagavatam, you are directly in contact with Krishna. So we said that in the beginning, right? Krishna Swadhamo Pagate. So when Krishna left this material world, he gave this Srimad Bhagavatam to us. And also, this Krishna consciousness is not something which has to be imported externally. It is there in everyone's heart. So Nitya Siddha Krishna Preme Sadhya Kabunai Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Kureyude. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is stated that the Krishna Bhakti is there in each and every living entity. Just like there is a fire in every wood, right? So, but only thing, somebody has to ignite that fire. You have to put a little bit, gasoline, and you should put a fire. Then it gets ignited. Similarly, Krishna Bhakti is there, but only thing that we have to do that, revive that Krishna consciousness, which is can be done through the sadhana bhakti and so many other process. So we'll hurry up little. I know the time running away. So we'll go to the 14th verse. Okay. So Jnanurundan Udgalad Bashpam Autkantya Devaki Sute Niratya Agaranno Badram Iti Syad Bandhava Striyaha. Can somebody read the translation purport?
I will read, Prabhuji. Hope you are able
Yeah.
to hear. Translation, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The female relatives whose eyes were flooded with tears out of anxiety for Krishna came out of the palace. They could stop their tears only with great difficulty. They feared that tears would cause misfortune at the time of departure. Purport. There were hundreds of ladies in the palace of Astinapura. All of them were affectionate to Krishna. All of them were relatives also. When they saw that Krishna was going away from the palace for his native place, they were very anxious for him, and as usual, tears began to roll down their cheeks. They thought at the same time that tears at that moment might be a cause of misfortune for Krishna. Therefore, they wanted to check them. This was very difficult for them because the tears could not be checked. Therefore, they smeared their tears in their eyes, and their hearts throbbed. Therefore, ladies who were the wives and daughters in law of those who died in the battlefield never came in direct contact with Krishna, but all of them heard of him and his great activities. And thus they thought of him, talked of him, his name, fame, etc., and become affectionate also, like those who were in direct contact. Therefore, directly or indirectly, anyone who thinks of Krishna, talks of Krishna, or worships Krishna becomes attached to him. Because Krishna is absolute, there is no difference between his name, form, quality, etc. Our intimate relation with Krishna can be confidentially revived by our talking of, hearing of, or remembering him. It is so done due to spiritual potential.
Okay. Jai. So here, when Krishna started, especially the ladies, the ladies by nature, they are very soft-hearted. They started crying. At the same time, they thought, the crying might bring misfortune to Krishna. So they are trying to control, check their tears, but it's very difficult to control. So because they have got so much close association with the Lord, though in here, we have seen other category of people, the ladies, the widows, whose husbands or whose fathers are, they were killed in the uh, battlefield. So they never came in directly contact with Krishna, but they heard his glories, right? So even they were having so much affection of Krishna. So what to speak of other who is having close association with him. So here he says there is no difference between Krishna and his pastime, his leelas and his rupa. Krishna is absolute, means one. So there's a verse which says Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Punyo Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinatvam Nama Naminaha. There is no difference between Krishna and his name, his pastime, and his qualities. Everything is on absolute fruit. But having that, then why can't we understand this? Because again our Acharya Rupa Goswami, he gives Atha Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhavet Graham Indriye. Because our senses are material, we cannot relish something which is of higher taste. But Sevonmukhe jihvado swayameva spuradyada. But the process is what? By chanting Krishna's holy name and honoring Prasadam, slowly we will come to know who Krishna is. So that is the process is given by our acharyas. Then we will move on to the verse number 15. Mrudanga Shankabreryascha Veena Panavago Mukhaha Daundri Danduri Anukha Gantadhya Nedur Dundubhyastadha. Yeah, who wants to read?
I'll read, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
All their hearts were melting for him on the pot of attraction. They looked at him without blinking. Sorry, I think I'm reading wrong.
Yeah. So this is still prevailing, right? This is a way of honoring, giving respect, honoring a person. So when the dignitary visits or when he goes back,
Prabhu,
so yeah, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I think Uday Prabhu read the translation for verse number 14, not 15.
No, yeah. My page
Okay, sorry.
wasn't 14. I'm just going to read. Translation. While the Lord was departing from the place of Hastinapur, different types of drums, like the
Mridanga.
Mradanga, Dhola, Nagara, Dundri, and Dundubi, and flutes of different types, the Veena, Gumka, and Bihari all sounded together to show him honor.
Yeah. Till today also, you must have seen, in like sports and when dignitary comes, they play different kinds of instruments as a giving respect, as a honoring that person. So they are doing it here for Krishna's departure also. Then we'll go to the next verse, verse number 16. Okay. Prasada Shikhararudaham Kurunaryo Didrikshaya Vishruhu Kusumai Krishnam Prema Vrida Smitekshanaha.
Out of a loving desire to see the Lord, the royal ladies of the Kurus got up on the top of the palace and, smiling with affection and shyness, they showered flowers upon the Lord. Shyness is a particular extra natural beauty of the fair sex, and it commands respect from the opposite sex. This custom was observed even during the days of Mahabharata, more than 5,000 years ago. It is only the less intelligent persons are not well versed in the history of the world who say that observance of separation of female from male is an introduction of the Mohammedan period of India. This incident from the Mahabharata period proves definitely that the ladies at the palace observed strict parda, restricted association with men, and instead of coming down in the open air, where Lord Krishna and others were assembled, the ladies of the palace went up to the top of the palace and from there paid their respects to Lord Krishna by a shower of flowers. It is definitely stated here that the ladies were smiling there on the top of the palace, checked by shyness. The shyness is a gift of nature to the fair sex and it enhances their beauty and prestige, even if they are of a less important even if they are of a less important family or even if they are less attractive. We have practical experience of this fact. A sweeper woman commanded the respect of many respectable gentlemen simply by manifesting a lady's shyness. Half naked ladies in the street do not command any respect, but a shy sweeper's wife commands respect from all. Human civilization, as conceived of by the sages of India, is to help one free himself from the clutches of illusion. The material beauty of a woman is an illusion because actually the body is made of earth, water, fire, air, etc. But because there is a association of the living spark with matter, it appears to be beautiful. No one is attracted by an earthen doll, even if it is the most perfectly prepared to attract the attention of others. Dead body has no beauty because no one will accept the dead body of a so-called beautiful woman. Therefore, the conclusion is that the spirit spark is beautiful, and because of the soul's beauty, one is attracted by the beauty of the outward body. The Vedic wisdom, therefore, forbids us to be attracted by the false beauty, but because we are now in the darkness of ignorance, the Vedic civilization allows very restricted mixing of women and men. They say that woman is considered to be the fire and the man is considered to be a butter. The butter must melt in association with fire, and therefore they may be brought together only when it is necessary. And shyness is a check to the unrestricted mixing. It is a nature's gift and it must be utilized.
Yeah, thank you, bro. So here, Srila Prabhupada, is emphasizing on the shyness character of female. So again, he is condemning, like some people says, this parda system has introduced during Mohammedan period, but it's not so. This was there prevailing in Vedic culture. It stated, the ladies would never come in front of men. Even the Brahmana ladies also, they were always behind the scene. So, so that is the Vedic culture. And also here, Prabhupada makes a beautiful statement here, right? The shyness is a gift nature to the fair sex, and it hence enhances their beauty and prestige. Hmm? Even people, like they may be a sweeper's wife, or they may be very less important person, but because of their shyness, they command respect from the gentlemen in the society, right? We have seen practically, right? So like till today also, like Prabhupada there he gives, like he says here, a sweeper woman commanded a respect of many respectable gentlemen simply by manifesting ladies' shyness, whereas half naked ladies in the street do not command any respect, right? This is fact, we also seen, right? So so this is the important this thing, the shyness is very very important, especially for the ladies. And also basically, we have given this human civilization is for what? For attaining the spiritual realization. So instead of that, if we are taking care of this body, which is made up of what? Hmm? Mucus, urine and stool. This is actually, this is what it is made up of. Okay, we maybe having beauty now, but sooner or later it will fade, right? So but we should make utilize of this body in the service of the Lord and to know about him. In Ishopanishad and also in Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, it says, this body is compared to a boat, and this material universe is compared to a big ocean. It's called as Bhava Sagara, right? So this body, we have to cross this ocean. So this body is a boat, and our acharyas, they are the captain of the ship. And the breeze, okay, no, we those days we didn't had any, like motorized boats. You had to row yourself. So then this favorable breezes, like wherever the wind blows, it takes the boat in that direction. So these Vedas and our scriptures are compared to the favorable breezes which help the boat to cross this material ocean. So we have given such a beautiful facility in this form of human. If we don't utilize this properly, again we get entangled in all these things. All this again, if we don't take advantage of this, then we are called as Atmaha, means killer of the soul. We had a wonderful situation, but we have committed suicide, right? We have not utilized it properly. So we should properly utilize this. So then we'll move on to the 17th verse. सीतातापत्रकं जाघ्रा मुक्तधामा विभूषितं रत्नदण्डं गुडाकेश प्रिया प्रियतमस्यः.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
I'll read.
Should I
I'll
read?
read. Prabhuji.
Yep.
At the time, Arjuna, the great warrior and conqueror of sleep, who is the intimate friend of the most beloved Supreme Lord, took up an umbrella which had a handle of jewels and was embroidered with lace and pearls. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Gold jewels, pearls, and valuable stones were used in the luxurious royal ceremonies. They are all nature's gift and are produced by the hills, oceans, etc. By the order of the Lord, when man does not waste his valuable time in producing unwanted things in the name of necessities, by so-called development of industrial enterprises, they are now using pots of gutta, pricha instead of metals like gold, silver, brass, and copper. They are using margarine instead of purified margarine instead of purified butter, and 1/4 of the city population has no shelter.
Yeah. So in this verse, Arjuna is holding umbrella for the Lord. So which is decorated with all jewelries. But nowadays the people use all fake ornaments, right? So that's what he's mentioning here. And also, like, the people use margarine instead of butter. So instead of ghee they use this. So this is a condition of this Kali Yuga. So we'll move on to the last verse for the today. उद्धवा सात्वकीश्चैवां व्यजने परमाद्भुते विकीर्यमान कुसुमैः रेजे मधुपतिपति. Yeah, bro.
Translation by Prabhupada Jai Shri Prabhupada. Uddhava and Satiki began to fan the Lord with decorated fans, and the Lord, as the master of Madhu, seated on the scattered flowers, commanded them along the road. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So there Uddhava and Satyaki, they are fanning the Lord. So who is looking very much splendid. So now in the next verse, the Brahmanas glorify the Lord with chanting of the hymns. That will be covered in the next session. Thank you so much for attending this class. And today is also a very, very auspicious day. Today is the disappearance day of our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada left his body on November 14th in 1977. So he was very fragile in health, but his consciousness was very pure, and he was dictating Srimad Bhagavatam, even while leaving his body. So, he has certainly changed the whole universe, He spread the glories of the holy name in nook and corner of the in entire universe, you can say. So you go to the any remote part of the world, you will have Hare Krishna centers there. So that's the potency, and we offer our humble respect, obeisances at the lot of Srila Prabhupada, and because of his mercy, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prophecy, Prithiviti Yache Yathanagar Adi Grama Sarvatra Prachara Hoibe Moranama. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted, in nook and corner of the whole universe, my names will be chanted. And that Srila Prabhupada made it. He has contributed to a greater extent. So we are all sitting here and we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam or any scripture for that matter. It is only because of the unconditioned uh, mercy of Srila Prabhupada. The Prabhupada na hoite. If Srila Prabhupada was not there, probably would not have been here and sitting here in Srimad Bhagavatam. So we, from bottom of our heart, we will offer our respectful obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, and we seek his mercy and we seek his blessings to continue on this path of our spiritualism, which is the Krishna consciousness, and we will also try to help others. Okay, somehow we are getting some benefit, right? So we should also pass on this information to others. So like whenever you get some discount, no, you will immediately will call our friend, right? Hey, go to that shop, they are offering you some percentage of discount. So similarly, we are all come in contact with him, and somehow or other we are in the right path. We should inform our near and dear ones, so they will also get the benefit of associating with devotees and making their life successful. With this, I stop here. Sorry, I have taken some extra time today. So if any questions and comment, you can.
One small query I had,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. In the verse number 17, it is said that the conqueror of sleep. Why is Lord Arjuna known as the conqueror of sleep?
His name is Gudakesha. Conqueror of sleep means he is won over the sleep. He would, when this I remember you have discussed in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so he has got that boon. He can control the sleep. He can control all the senses and also the sleep. That is his name is Gudakesha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you. So in the these last couple of verses is mainly talking about how they are sending him off. That's all, right?
Yes, yes.
But the example of the umbrella, not the example, the detailing of the umbrella, the comparison to what we are doing today is how we should understand it.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's a way of showing our respect, no, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we have, of course, traditionally till today, if you go to the temples, we take the deities on Rath Yatra, or we take the palki on the street, no? So there's one person who comes and he holds the umbrella. Means he is giving the protection. Yeah.
Okay.
And also
Same.
in olden days, if you see in the like landlords, there will be one servant who will be holding
Who will hold the
umbrella for
umbrella?
him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a respect.
Okay. Okay.
He is the supreme personality of Godhead. So that's the reason Arjuna himself is holding umbrella for the Lord.
No, I was referring to the reference of the ornaments on the umbrella.
Yeah.
Compared to what we are doing today, like
Yes,
we
yes,
are
yes.
not using those ornaments, is
Yeah.
a comparison for trying to follow what we should do.
Yeah. Means now we have forgotten. I mean, traditionally now also, if you go to the temples like Tirupati and other things, so all they use real metal only. But
Okay.
Prabhupada is giving other examples, like fake
Okay.
ornaments and other things, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you must have seen, no, in Tirupati, every year they do Brahmotsava. It will happen for
Yeah,
14.
yeah.
So different kind of seva they do. So all they know, it's all real gold. They use diamond, all those things. Yeah,
Hare Krishna.
yeah. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Thank you
Hare
very much,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can we end the session, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.